Hey guys, so I am doing another first impressions video because I just got this in the mail. So I like to do these just because you're hearing like my initial thoughts upon getting this, or getting any of these things that I do first impressions on. So it's the Too Faced and Kat Von D collab, which I was so excited for when I first heard about it coming out. This is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, unlike the Kat Von D Alchemist palette, which was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be when I received it in person. So, when I first heard that this part of the collection, they also have like a double-sided makeup bag that has Jared's... It's Jared, right? Is how it's pronounced, the owner of Too Faced. Has his dog on one side and Kat's cat on the other. And then it comes with like a Too Faced highlighter and blush duo, a Too Faced Sweethearts blush. They're all like minis. And then it comes with, I think, a Kat Von D lipstick and liquid lipstick. That's the other part of this collection. But I didn't really need that or feel the need to get it just for the makeup bag. I did, however, get the palette. And at $65, at first I was like, that is kind of steep for what it is. You get 12 shades, you get 6 shades on the Too Faced side and 6 shades on the Kat Von D side. But, and I guess I hadn't paid attention to it, you also get a full-size Better Than Sex mascara and a full-size tattoo liner, which I'm so glad because the one I currently have is almost dried up and this is my favorite eyeliner ever. So that kind of makes it worth it. You're getting 2 full-size products that are normally, I think this is around 20 bucks, and this is like 19 or something like that. I don't know. They're both pretty expensive, and I never liked this Too Faced mascara. Maybe it was because I only tried, I've only tried the mini sizes, but I'll have to give it a shot again, see if I like it. But it really, the last few times I've had sample sizes of this, it really didn't do much for me. So there's that. You get a mascara and a liner that I've already reviewed both of them, so I really don't have to do that right now. But let's talk about the palette. So this is another odd-shaped palette that's going to drive me nuts when I try to store it, but it is cute. It is a heart and it is magnetic, so you can take each half and either use it together or use them separately. Kind of a weird shape if you're gonna travel with it, so I mean I wouldn't really recommend that, but it is like heavy duty cardboard material. Both sides are magnetic. The Too Faced side is pink, the Kat Von D side is black, and they both, Kat and Jared, both wrote little notes on the back, and they both also have a letter on the inside. I'm not going to read them. If you want to pause it and read it, then feel free. Let me open the other side. Probably be easier to do it this way so I don't drop it. So it says Too Faced Kat Von D on the side, Volume 1, so I'm wondering if they have anything else in the works. But Kat has been putting out so much stuff lately, and it's making me go broke because her Pastel Goth palette is already coming out on the 10th of January. So she has another thing coming out. But I'm going to flip the camera down so you can see better swatches, and I'm going to swatch it up close. I'm going to start with the Too Faced side, and then I'll do the Kat Von D side. So let me just fix the camera. Oh. The Too Faced shadows are shaped like little hearts, like they are in the Chocolate Bonbons palette. Looks very similar. I'm not like super duper impressed with their eyeshadows ever. I feel like they do so many repeat shades. The quality of them is okay, but it's not like the best I've ever had. Their shimmers are definitely much better than their mattes, but that's all I'm gonna ramble on about for now. So I'm gonna do some swatches. This is BFF. Feels pretty creamy actually. It is a matte cream. And that one's actually pretty nice. It's not, a lot of their mattes can be powdery, and this one feels really nice. I'm probably going to eat my words about saying, oh, I'm not impressed with their shadows. Then we have a matte light pink that's called Lovely. That one feels pretty creamy too. That one's pretty nice. Very, very light pink. And then all the rest are shimmers. So we have Friendspiration, which is a coppery, like penny color. That one's like super pigmented. Heart of Gold. This is like an olive color. These are all really smooth. These are like better than any other Too Faced palette I've swatched. That is, yeah, it's like a metallic olive color. That's really pretty. Then we have Power Couple. Ooh, that one's really dry. It's a matte brown base, like a chocolate brown with gold glitter in it. And because it's so dry, it's kind of making me think it's one of those shades that all the glitter is going to fall out of when it's on your eyes. So that's the only one so far that's kind of iffy for me. It is pretty. It doesn't want to focus. It is pretty. I'll have to see how it performs on the eyes, but the last one is Better Together. This looks like a super, super dark purple with tiny bits of gold shimmer in it. This one is a drier formula too. Like these four, BFF, Lovely, Friendspiration, and Heart of Gold, were all super smooth, but these last two are kind of, this one's a little bit powdery. Yeah, you kind of have to work with that one a little bit. It's definitely pigmented. So it's, in the pan you can see the gold shimmer, but you can't really see it that much in the swatch, so I would just call this like a really deep plummy purple. So that's the 6 colors. No base or anything on my hand, no primer. So far, I'm actually surprised with the Too Faced side, because their shadows are kind of hit or miss for me. These two definitely feel drier, but they were still pretty pigmented. I have to see how this one actually performs on the eyes though, because you can see the glitter in there, but that brown shade, like the base of the eyeshadow, is very dry. So I just feel like that's gonna be like the brown in the glittery brown in the Swamp Queen palette, that just the glitter just falls all out of the shadow. So that is the Too Faced side. Very pretty packaging. I love the packaging on it. The gold foil on this one, and then the Kat Von D side is all black with silver foil. Very, very pretty. So now we're going to get into doing these swatches. And Kat has 3 mattes and 3 shimmers on her side. So it looks like yours, Porvita, and Devotion are mattes, and then Darling, Swoon, and Lovestruck are shimmers. So I'm very familiar with Kat Von D shadows because I have every single palette she's ever put out except for one of the mini palettes that I missed out on. Like, I kept putting off buying it and then I just never got it, and now I can't get it anymore. But literally every other eyeshadow palette since she started her line, I have it. So I'm very, very familiar with the formulas, what they're supposed to feel like, look like, blend like, and a lot of her holiday palettes have kind of been different quality than her other palettes, but let's get to swatching so I can see. So yours is a like bluish gray. Definitely feels like all of Kat Von D's matte shades. That's what this one looks like. Kinda, my swatch was kind of streaky there, but her mattes are definitely incredibly pigmented. Some of them, like I found in the Metal Matte palette, a lot of the mattes give me a hard time blending them out. But this one is a very like creamy smooth. It was easy to blend with my finger anyway, so hopefully it's easy to use a brush with. This one is called Darling, and this is a really pretty like metallic taupe. This is probably going to be one of my most used shades out of this palette. Look at how crazy that is. It's so pretty. I am a sucker for taupe eyeshadow for some reason. I just love using that color all over my lid, so this is definitely gonna be one of my favorites. Then we have Porvita, which is just a white. I'm not crazy about stark white eyeshadows like this, because I just find I don't use them all that much. Like, if I'm gonna use a brow highlight that's matte, I always use a cream shade, but this one is... White eyeshadow is always really hard to like find a good one, but this seems pretty decent. A little bit powdery, well, not really powdery, but more applies more patchy with my finger anyway. So those are the first three shades. Then we have, I'm gonna go this way because that black, her blacks are always super dark, so it's gonna be hard to get off my finger. We have Love Struck. This one looks really pretty actually. It's like a metallic peach, but it has an iridescence to it. Let's see if I can get it to hit the light so you can kind of see. Let's do this. That's a very, very light, that's going to be a good all over the lid shade too. That would make a really pretty highlighter. I'm like dying for Kat to come out with shimmery highlighters. I don't know why her brand hasn't done that yet, but maybe, fingers crossed, in the new year that'll be something she introduces. Swoon is a really, ooh, that one's like incredibly soft. As soon as I touched it, look how pretty that is. I've been waiting for her to do a deeper red because like in the Mi Vida Loca remix palette, she had a reddish pink but no red, and oh, this is so pretty. This is like a vampire red shade and it's got a slight sheen to it. Oh, that's so pretty. So if you're looking for a really good red eyeshadow, that's amazed me with how soft it was. Okay, and then Devotion, which is the black, and her blacks are always really good. This one has a drier texture, but definitely crazy black. So going into this, I knew I was gonna like the Kat Von D side better. The Kat Von D side of the palette better than the Too Faced side, just because I love her eyeshadows. The formula on the mattes and the shimmers is usually, I'd say like 95% of the time, amazing. So those are the 6 colors on the Kat Von D side. And then, like I said, the Too Faced side, in the swatches anyway, actually really surprised me. The only two that were drier were these two, but they were still pigmented, so I'll have to see how they perform on the actual eyes. But for my first impressions, I really like this so far, so nothing too bad to say about it. What else did I want to mention? Let me turn the camera back up. This is what it looks like put together, even though I already showed it. So for size comparison, let me put the camera back up. My camera is like way slanted down now, but it's only going to take a few more minutes here, so I gotta clean the swatches off my hand. And then I wanted to show you like a size comparison, because this palette is pretty big. This is a little bit of an older palette. She had the two Monarch butterfly palettes that came out, but this is a pretty decently sized palette, and this is the Too Faced one. Too Faced Kat Von D one. Like, you can hide it behind there. It is the size of my face, pretty much. So definitely a bigger palette than what I thought it was going to be. It is super cute. I like the idea of the whole magnetic hearts fitting together. It's just kind of like, I guess the only downside would be if you're using it together like this, you have to keep flipping back and forth because they're not just all out there for you. But then again, just take it apart and use them both separately that way. So definitely will take up some room on your makeup table when you're doing your makeup, but I guess if you like laid them out like that, it would make it a little bit easier. I don't know. It's kind of awkward packaging, but it's cute and it's cutesy and gimmicky, and I like the idea. So overall first impressions, I like this. I'm not saying that just because I love the Kat Von D line. I was gonna be like super bummed if these were all dry and not great quality, because Too Faced, when they rush to put out like holiday palettes and stuff, their quality just goes like down the drain. And I know there's been two Kat Von D holiday palettes that have had like total dud eyeshadows in them. So, I mean, I don't know if that's like the company rushing to put out holiday palettes or whatnot, but I am glad they waited until after Christmas and didn't make this holiday palette per se, because I just feel like the quality wouldn't have been there. But these are really nice. So you can see by the swatches, it was just like a swipe or two, and they're super pigmented. So definitely check this out. Like I said, it comes with a full-size Kat Von D tattoo liner and a full-size Better Than Sex mascara. So you are getting your money's worth. You're getting 12 shadows and 2 full-size products that would normally, say like an eyeshadow palette is around 45-50 bucks, and then 20 and 20. So you're definitely getting a deal. But yeah, that's it for now. I have to go make dinner because I'm starving. I was waiting for the UPS guy, because every time I'm expecting something, I get hiccups. They deliver it around the same time from UPS anyway. FedEx can be like 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock at night, so I never tell with FedEx, but with UPS, usually always the same time. So I was hoping he would come, and he did, and I was able to film this, but now I need to go make some din din. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you in my next video.